I'm going to say something most people don't dare to admit. A man doesn't die when his heart fails. He dies when he loses his desire. Not desire for a woman, but desire for himself, for his life, his strength. When you open your eyes each morning and your body no longer responds the way it used to, it's not just a physical issue. It's a brutal sign that something deeper has broken. And here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not age, it's neglect. You've let time, exhaustion, and shame strip away what makes you a man. And if you don't do something about it today, you're going to become a shadow of who you once were. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn that around. We're going deep with 7 hard truths, one by one. But the last one won't just bring your desire back. It might just bring back your self-respect. I'm Celia, and if you're brave enough to stay until the end, you'll understand why desire isn't something you buy at a pharmacy. It's something you build from within. Have you ever asked yourself when you stopped being you? When was the last time you felt fire in your body the moment you woke up? Without provocation, without pills, without effort. Maybe you've gotten so used to the routine of wear and tear, to the silence of your own desire, that you don't even miss it anymore. But listen closely. If you've made it this far, it's because a part of you is still alive, and it's time to bring it back. This is the first thing you need to understand. The invisible enemy that drains your desire without you even noticing. And no, I'm not talking about age. It's not your body that's failing you. It's your mind, your environment, your tired man routine that no longer believes it's capable. Most men who reach 60 aren't broken inside. They're domesticated. And that's the worst crime. Becoming a tame man with no drive, no hunger. You know what happens when a lion stops hunting? He doesn't become wiser. He starves to death without even letting out a roar. Now, I want you to picture Roger, a 62-year-old man. He worked 35 years as a maintenance supervisor in a factory. Strong, active, always working with his hands. But now, retired, he wakes up without direction, eats the same breakfast every day, sits in front of the TV, walks at the pace of his aches, and the desire, that vital drive that used to walk beside him, vanished. Not because his body couldn't handle it. It vanished because his life stopped lighting him up, because no one looked at him like a man anymore, because he stopped seeing himself that way. That invisible enemy is repetition without soul, routine without purpose. It's that voice that tells you it's not worth trying anymore. But listen carefully. Every time you ignore it, you give it more power. Male desire doesn't just vanish, it hides. It pulls back when you stop fighting for yourself, when you let the world convince you that you're no longer needed. But you are. As long as you're breathing, you are. And this isn't about self-delusion. I'm not going to tell you to think positive and everything will magically improve. I'm going to tell you to take control, once and for all, to break away from what dulls you. Because if you don't change your surroundings, your routine, your habits, you'll keep waking up in a cold bed with a numb body. Desire needs stimulation, it needs movement, it needs space. It doesn't grow in boredom. And if you're waiting for something outside yourself to rescue you, you're wasting your time. The only one who can reignite that fire is you. This is where the change begins. And if you don't take this first step, everything else is just a story. If what we just talked about shook you, then get ready, because this goes even deeper. You've already understood that desire doesn't die from age, but from neglect. But now it's time to talk about the second problem that's ruining people's lives without them admitting it. The morning doesn't lie. If you're not waking up with an erection, something's wrong. That first hour of the day, that moment when you open your eyes, is the most honest mirror of your inner state. And no, I'm not just talking about your body, I'm talking about your soul. The Stoics used to say that a man who has lost control of himself has lost everything. And when you wake up day after day without that signal of vitality, you're witnessing a symptom that something in you has gone dim. It's not random, it's not normal, it's not age. It's a red flag your body is waving, but you're refusing to see it, out of shame, fear, or resignation. Morning erections aren't just some biological whim of the male body. They're a physical reflection that everything is working. Your hormones, your circulation, your rest, your mind. When it's gone, it's not a small thing. It's a warning. It means your testosterone is on the floor, your nervous system is overwhelmed, your emotions are scattered, or your metabolic health is crumbling. And worse, it means your mind is no longer connecting with your body the way it used to. What should be a silent roar when you wake up has turned into a whisper of defeat. Practical psychology teaches us that how you start the day shapes how you face the rest of it. If your morning is empty, if your first thought is fatigue or indifference, then you're planting the seed for a day without drive. And repeated 1,000 times, that becomes your character. That's why so many men after 50 stop fighting, because they've lost that first sign that they still can. But hear me, you can get it back. And it's more than just a physical act. It's a reconnection with your inner power. This isn't just about having an erection. It's about feeling alive again, about waking up with an alert body, with energy flowing, with the certainty that you still can. And that doesn't come in a pill. It comes from restoring your habits, your sleep, your nutrition, your purpose. It comes from clearing your mind of noise, fear, and lethargy. It comes from realizing that if each morning starts without life, it's your responsibility to light that spark, even if it's hard. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. The morning doesn't lie, and if you're not listening to what it's telling you, you're drifting further and further from the man you could become. It's time to wake up, literally. Because the one who ignores his body's signals is silently digging his own surrender. And you're not here to surrender, you're here to feel again, to become again. So far, we've talked about the signals your body sends you, and how ignoring them makes you complicit in your own decline. But understanding what's wrong isn't enough. You have to act. And that's why we've come to the third point of this video. And this is where things start to change. What you're eating is slowly castrating you, and you didn't even know it. Think about it like this. If you pour sugar into a car's gas tank, would you expect it to run? Then tell me, why do you expect your body to function like a fired-up engine if you're feeding it like a dumpster? The food you eat isn't neutral. Every bite either builds you up or breaks you down. And the worst part is that most men eat like teenagers who still think their body is invincible. But it's not. At your age, every decision has a multiplied impact. And what you put in your body can speed up your downfall, or become the first brick in your rebuild. The strategy is clear, backed by medical science and the experience of thousands of men who've turned their lives around. Eliminate ultra-processed foods and increase your intake of healthy fats and real proteins. Your testosterone, your energy, your desire, they all depend on your hormonal balance. And that balance doesn't come from eating white bread, cookies, deli meats, sodas, and fried food. That only clogs your system, fuels inflammation, and blocks your natural hormone production. But when you eat eggs, avocado, fatty fish, lean meat, nuts, leafy greens, you're telling your body, I'm still worth fighting for. Let me put it this way. Imagine every cell in your body is a soldier. When you give it good food, that soldier has weapons, a shield, and energy. When you feed it junk, that soldier is unarmed, weak, and confused. And like that, you can't win any battle. Your desire doesn't die because of age. It dies because your soldiers don't have anything left to fight with. Changing your diet isn't a trend. It's a radical act of self-respect. It's looking at your plate and asking, is this taking me closer or further from the man I want to be? And you don't need to spend a fortune. You just need commitment. Swap things out little by little, learn to read labels, cook more, eat the kind of food your grandfather would recognize as real food. Because as long as you keep eating like your body doesn't matter, you'll keep paying the price in the form of lost desire, low energy, and a numbed sense of manhood. Before we move on to the next point, take a second. If any of this resonated with you, if you're starting to see with new eyes what's been holding you back, then I invite you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It helps me reach more men like you. men who are ready to reclaim their strength. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. Just write this: I've already started changing my plate. There are still more truths ahead that will shake you, and the final lesson might just bring back what you thought was lost forever. If you've already started looking at your plate differently, then you've taken a step most men never dare to take. Because when a man chooses to change what he eats, he also starts to change what he tolerates. But there's a trap, quieter and more dangerous, that can sabotage every attempt to improve. This next step is crucial, because without it, you'll stay stuck in the same place. We've arrived at the fourth point in this video, the couch trap, how a sedentary life emasculates your brain and your body. It seems harmless. A quick rest here, an afternoon in front of the TV, a nap that stretches too long, a walk you skip because your knees hurt. And suddenly, without noticing, your body stops moving, your energy drops, your mind dims, and your desire vanishes. But that's not rest you're experiencing, it's surrender. Sedentarism is anesthesia in disguise. It slowly numbs you, convinces you it's normal to stay still, to be passive, to fade. And in that false peace, what you're really doing is signing your own resignation. The male body was built for action, not to run marathons at 70, but to stay active, steady, strong. When you stop moving, your brain reads it as a sign that there's no battle left to fight, and it starts shutting down vital functions. Testosterone drops, circulation weakens, metabolism slows, and with it, everything else. Your desire, your mood, your drive. The couch isn't just a piece of furniture, it's a sentence. It's where many men unknowingly say goodbye to themselves. And the most destructive part is that this mistake sets in without pain, without noise, without warning. It tells you you're resting, when in reality, it's draining you. It's like a comfortable cage. It spares you the effort, but strips you of your freedom. You get so used to not moving that even walking a block feels like a punishment. And if movement feels like a chore, how do you expect your body to turn back on? How can you expect desire to come back if the engine's been shut down for years? Movement isn't just physical, it's psychological, emotional, existential. Just walking for 15 minutes a day can reactivate your nervous system, oxygenate your brain, and balance your hormones. You don't need to become an athlete. You just need to stop living like a willing prisoner. The couch isn't your friend, it's your jailer. And every day you stay glued to it, you lose agility, masculinity, and willpower, because desire doesn't survive in motionless bodies. It needs circulation, rhythm, movement. It needs signs of life. So take a good look. Look at that couch where you spend every afternoon. Ask yourself if that's where you want to grow old, or where you want to be reborn. Because if you don't declare war on sedentarism, it doesn't matter what you eat or what you dream. Your body will stay shut down. And a shut-down body is a locked-up soul. It's time to get up, even if it hurts, even if it's hard. Because every step you take away from that trap is a step back toward yourself. We've reached the fifth point in this video, and it's one of the most overlooked, but also one of the most lethal, the silent killer of erections, poorly managed stress and unresolved emotions. This isn't about what you eat or how much you move. This is about what you carry in silence, what you hold inside, what you don't say, but is slowly killing you. Because a man who doesn't know how to release his tension ends up breaking down where it hurts the most: his energy, his desire, his dignity. Most men over 50 carry an emotional backpack stuffed with frustration, guilt, resentment, betrayal, and fear. They don't talk about it, they don't show it, but they feel it. They feel it when they can't sleep. They feel it when they wake up exhausted after doing nothing. They feel it when they look at their partner and the spark is gone. No connection, no drive. And what do? They hide it. They stay silent. They try to act strong. But inside, they're breaking. And that doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your body. Because constant tension shuts down testosterone production, hardens blood vessels, and dims the nervous system. It's like driving with the emergency brake on. No matter how hard you hit the gas, you're not going anywhere. Chronic stress is a prison without bars. It locks you in a loop of repetitive thoughts, keeps you constantly on edge, turns you into a man who's surviving, not living. And over time, that becomes emotional and sexual impotence. You can't feel desire when you're tense. You can't connect when your mind is full of noise. You can't perform when you're exhausted from the inside out. And every time you swallow your anger, your disappointment, your sadness, every time you pretend everything's fine, you're betraying yourself. Reversing this isn't about just relaxing. It's not about lighting a candle and taking deep breaths. It's about facing what you've avoided for years. It's about saying what you've never said, crying what you were taught to suppress, letting go of the weight you were never meant to carry. You need release. You need to write out what you feel, talk to someone who won't judge you, go for a walk alone and reflect on what's really eating at you. You need to decide that your peace matters more than your image. Most of all, you need a new mindset, one where you respect yourself enough to let go. Because bottling up your emotions isn't strength, it's cowardice in disguise. A real man isn't the one who stays silent. He's the one who turns his pain into action. He's the one who dares to let go of the emotional poison before it destroys him. Because what you don't release will drag you down. What you don't face will consume you, and what you don't express turns into illness. So take a good look at yourself. Ask how much tension you're holding, how much resentment is living inside you, how many times you've faked being okay just to keep others comfortable. And now ask yourself, is it worth continuing like this? Because if you don't clean up your emotional world, no diet, no workout, no supplement will bring your desire back. Sexual energy is born from balance, and if you're emotionally broken, you're biologically shutting down. No excuses, just decisions. You either free yourself or you fade. The choice is yours. If you've made it this far, you already know that what's draining you isn't just physical, it's emotional. The poison isn't just in what you eat, it's in what you suppress. And if you've understood that releasing that weight is vital, then it's time to start rebuilding from the inside out. We've reached the 6th point in this video, the nighttime ritual that reprograms your desire from the subconscious. And no, this isn't some magic trick. It's a daily decision that draws the line between a man who's burned out and one who's lit from within. Close your eyes for a second and picture this. You go to bed after another meaningless day. You lie down with the TV still on, your phone in your face, without having thought about yourself for even one moment. You don't fall asleep because you're at peace. You pass out from exhaustion. And what happens when you sleep like that? Your brain keeps processing garbage. Your body never truly rests. You wake up carrying the same tension that put you to bed. And so the cycle repeats, night after night, death after death. But here's the key. The night isn't just for rest. It's the most powerful moment to reprogram your mind. It's when your subconscious is most open, most moldable, most sensitive to what you choose to feed it. And if the only things you consume before bed are noise, complaints, or worry, then that's what you're planting inside yourself. That's what you're building in silence, an anxious mind, an inert body, a dormant masculinity. The ritual is simple, but powerful. Turn off all screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Grab a notebook. Write down how you felt that day, what bothered you, what you're grateful for, what you want to improve. Take out the emotional trash before it rots in your mind. Then breathe deeply. Read something that inspires you, not distracts you. Listen to your body. Remind it that you're still alive. Place a hand on your chest. Connect with yourself. Do it every night, no excuses. Not out of obligation, but out of respect. And do you know what starts to happen when you do this? Your mind begins to rest. Your body begins to repair. Your hormones start to rebalance. And little by little, without miracles or magic, you start waking up differently. Not just more rested, but stronger, more focused, more of a man. Because desire is born from inner stillness. And if you don't give yourself that space each night, what you're doing is burying your own potential, alive. Most people fall asleep running from their day. you're going to fall asleep building your tomorrow. That's the difference between a man who's just surviving and one who's being reborn. Because poor sleep doesn't just steal your energy, it robs you of desire, clarity, and purpose. So don't go to bed without clearing your mind. Don't fall asleep with your head full of noise. The nighttime ritual isn't optional, it's your right. And if you skip it, don't be surprised when you wake up each day further and further from the man you were meant to be. If you understood what we just talked about, then you know this isn't just about sleeping better. It's about respect, about giving yourself the space you deserve to heal, to restore your energy, and to feel real desire again, from within. But there's one lie, just one, that if you don't destroy it today, will undo everything you've learned here. And that's why we've come to the 7th point in this video, the biggest lie about male desire after 50. They've repeated this lie so many times, you ended up believing it. That you can't anymore, that it's too late, that your time has passed, that at your age it's normal to feel turned off, tired, unmotivated. And the worst part, that you're supposed to just accept it, that naturally you should just settle. But let me tell you the truth like no one else will. That is a damn lie. Desire doesn't disappear with age. What disappears is your willingness to fight for yourself. What dies is routine. What weakens is discipline. But you can light yourself up again if you stop living like you're already dead. Because this isn't about pills or magic formulas. It's about responsibility. It's about owning the fact that what you do every single day either builds or destroys your desire. And if you spend your days eating poorly, sitting all day, carrying emotions that don't belong to you, sleeping badly, replaying thoughts that shut you down, then of course you don't feel desire. Not because you can't, but because you gave up. Because you got used to living at half power. And the cruelest part of that lie is that it makes you believe change isn't worth it, that there's no point in trying, because nothing will get better anyway. But let me say it loud and clear, what you don't improve will rot. And you're not here to rot while alive. You're here to wake up, to rise from that mental and physical prison you built for yourself with excuses and resignation. And there's only one person responsible for breaking out of it, you. So look at yourself, look at what you've allowed, look at what you've tolerated, and decide if you're going to keep believing that your desire is gone, or if you're going to do whatever it takes to feel alive again, because there are no excuses, only choices. And if you don't choose today, tomorrow will be worse, slower, more painful, harder. This is the final call. There are no more secrets, only action. Because desire is earned, it's cultivated, it's defended. And if you don't fight for it, no one else will. If you made it this far, you're not just any man. Because this wasn't an easy video. I didn't come here to stroke your ego. I came to hit you with the truth. And if you stayed until the end, it's because something inside you still wants to fight, still wants to wake up, still refuses to accept the lie that getting older means giving up. What you do from this point on is up to you. No one else can make that decision for you. Because comfort kills, and you no longer have time to keep hiding behind excuses. I want you to leave a comment with 4 words. Taking back my desire, and tell me what country you're watching from. Not so I know it, but so you can declare it. Because sometimes all it takes to start the change is to say it out loud. I'm Celia, and this channel is called House of Wisdom for a reason. Not because we have all the answers, but because we don't lie. We don't sugarcoat decline. We speak the truth. Because we believe a man, even after 50, can reclaim his strength, his dignity, and his desire if he's willing to face his truth. Subscribe if you still have something worth fighting for. If you know this isn't the life you were meant for, and you're ready to rebuild from the inside out. And share this video with that friend, that brother, that father who seems to have given up. Maybe this is exactly what he needs to hear to start over. And don't go just yet. The conversation doesn't end here. Watch the 2 videos that are about to pop up on the screen. One will show you how to protect yourself from people who drain your energy. The other how to reclaim your self-respect when it feels like the world is ignoring you. Pick the one that speaks to you most, but watch it, because change starts now, and this time, you're not going to stop.